We are going to be doing something special today. Um, Full deck and missing a few cards. They have a course where they essentially, my understanding is they teach Sudoku, Sudoku theory, Sudoku setting, the math, all that stuff behind Sudoku. And their students from fall 2023 put together a book collecting the puzzles that they set. So today, I am going to be solving them. This is Cygnet Sudoku Volume 1 from the fall 2023 class, and we have a mess of puzzle constructors, Atom, Archangel, Bitmask, and we're going to go through and take a look at their puzzles. This is put together by Full Deck and missing a few cards. This is part of this research, so streamers may solve these puzzles under the conditions that no alteration is made to puzzle title, authors, or rules. Attribution is given to puzzle constructors, and a link to the solve is emailed within 14 days to fulldeck@missingdeck.net. Copyright to individual puzzles remain with the constructors of the corresponding puzzles, of course. So here we have Assassin's Apprentice by Stuart. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Every row, column, and box must contain a complete set of the digits 1 to 4. Killer cages, digits add to the total in the top left corner of the cage. If the sum is given, digits cannot repeat in cages. Alright, so we have normal 4x4 Sudoku, and then we have killer cages. So we'll go through the rules. Normal Sudoku rules. Every row, column, and box will contain the digits 1 to 4 once each. So we'll only ever see 1 4 here, 1 4 here, and 1 4 here. And that's what's going to happen throughout the grid. In our killer cages, we have digits add up to the total in the top left corner of the cage. If the sum is given, digits cannot repeat in cages. So in this case, we have these three cells which are made up of a cage. That's what these dotted or dashed lines are. This 9 tells us what the three digits in this cage must sum up to. In this case, it's 9. For this cage, it's 7. And for this cage, it's 3. All right, those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right, so there are things that, once you've done the killer Sudokus enough, you'll just kind of know. 9, especially if you're looking at only a set of the digits 1 through 4, is going to be a set of 2, 3, 4. 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 9. That means this must be 1, which is our leftover. 3 is only made of 1, 2. And that's interesting because we need to make a leftover of 6 in 2 digits. We can only do that with 2, 4. With the 1, 2 staring here, this must be 4. This must be 2. That makes this 1, this 2. Now in the column we're missing 3. 3 places 3 here. We have a 2, 4. 3, 1 gives us 1 here. This must be 2 by Sudoku. We're still missing what? We're still missing 3, 4 from here. Trying to take this a little bit slower. 3 tells us that this must be 4. If this is 4, this is 2, 4. 4 gives it that this is 3, this is 4. And then finally, to finish us off, this is 1, this is 3, and we're done in 1 minute and 7 seconds. And I'm going to be liking all these puzzles. I think this is a new feature in Sudoku Pad. I've only noticed it in my solve of the Daily Gas today, which I don't know when you'll be seeing this, but this is January 17th, 2024. So let's take a look. We have Intro to Arrows by Atom and GoldenGate. Digits 1 to 4 must be placed in each row, column, and 2x2 box without repetition. Digits placed on an arrow must sum to the digit placed in that arrow's circle. So, once again, we have ourselves a 4x4. So it's the same normal Sudoku rules. So each row, column, and 2x2 box will contain digits 1 to 4 once each. But the important one is the arrow rule. So digits placed on an arrow must sum to the digit placed in that arrow's circle. So here, this 2 is the digit that is placed in the arrow's circle. That means the 2 cells that make up the arrow, when added together, will sum to 2. Same thing here. These two digits must sum to whatever this circle is, and these two digits must sum to whatever this circle is. So those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, 2 right off the bat is really easy. How do we make 2 in 2 digits? Well, luckily these two don't see each other by Sudoku, right? They're not in the same row, column, or box, so these are both going to be 1s. The 2 is going to be placed here pretty quickly as well. We can throw down a 3-4 pair. What I did notice, though, is that we have something interesting going on here. We have these two digits. Well, whatever these two digits are that sum to this must also be these two digits. So how do we do that? Well, we're definitely going to need a 1, because if we try to go any higher and we go 2 plus 3, we get 5, and we're already broken. So we're going to need 1s. So 1s here and here. Then we need to think about what the next digit is. So if these are 2s, right? Let's center pencil mark. If these are 2s, then these two digits are 3s, which means these are 4s. If these are 3s, and we're doing center pencil marks, then these are 4s, and these are 2s. But if you look, we're not going to be able to put 2 here, right, by Sudoku, because it already appears in the column. So that means that we must not be doing the 2 version, we must be doing the 3-2 version where the 2 exists here. So these two are 2s, these two are 3s, whoops, 3s, these two are 4s, and then the 3 4s give us that these 2 are 3s. We'll actually do those last for a specific reason, 4s, and these two are 3s, and we are done with a little celebration of a 3 in the corner. So again, we have our Intro to Kropki Dots by Nash. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The digits 1 to 4 must be placed in each row, column, and 2x2 box without repetition. Kropki dots. Cells separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio. Cells separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. And I actually see we have the time running, so we'll worry about that later. We'll pause for now. So what does this actually mean? Well, again, we have our normal Sudoku rules. So any row, column, or 2x2 box will have the digits 1, 2, 4 once each. But our Kropki dots are special. So cells separated by a black dot will have a 1 to 2 ratio. What that means is one digit is twice the value of the other. So 1 and 2 have a ratio of 1 to 2. 2 and 4 have a ratio of 1 to 2 because 4 is twice of 2. Then for our white dots, we have consecutive digits. So what does it mean to be consecutive? Another way that this is often explained is that they have a difference of 1. So a difference of 1 is 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. And as we add more digits to our Sudoku, more cells, we will have more digits to compare. The last rule, or the last part of the rule, is what's interesting. Not all dots are necessarily given. So in this case, even though there is no white dot that separates these two cells, this could still be a 1, 2, right? 1 and 2 are consecutive, but there is no white dot, but that's okay. In later puzzles, we might see a rule where if there is no white dot, then they can't be consecutive, which would mean if we put 2 here, neither of these would be 1. But that's a little bit more complicated, and we probably won't see that for a bit, as these are our introductory puzzles. So we're going to restart the time here. Give that a pause. We're a little late on the pause, but that's okay. And let's just jump right into it. All right, where do we want to start with this? Well, I am noticing a triple right here. And in a 4x4, we know that the only digits that will sit on black dots are 1, 2, and 4, which means we can place 2 here right off the bat because 2 will always be in the center. And we have a 1, 4. 1, 4 is interesting because we don't know the order yet, but it does give us that this must be 3. Then we have to keep thinking. When we have a number that is a difference of 3 to a difference of 1 to 3, right, to get that consecutive number, this is either going to be 2 or 4. If this is 4, we would have 3, 4. The only number that is then consecutive to 4 would then be 3 again, so that would break. So this is in fact 3, 2, 1. That gives us a 4 in the corner with a 1 here. Then, once again, we have our what? we have a 3-4 pair, and you'll notice this kind of pattern that happens with these 2x2 Sudokus. We're going to get the 4-3, 4-3, and actually this 2-4 gets placed here as a 2-4, and this 1-3 gets placed here as a 1-3. We don't necessarily need to pencil mark in these puzzles, but I think it's good practice just to get a hang of it. So what do we need to do from here? Well, if we try to place 4 here, we would get 3 here, because that's the only number that is consecutive to 4. But 3 can never exist on a black dot because, there is no number that is half of or twice of that falls within the range of 1 to 4. So that means this is 3, this is 4. 3 is consecutive to either 2 or 4, so we get what we call a 2-4 pair. That gives us a 1-3 over here. But, right, to satisfy, because 2 or 4 exist in some way, so this must be a set of 1-3. The 1 gives us 3 here, 1 here. We get another 3 in the corner. Here in the column, we get a 2, and the 2 is what does it for us. Both of these cells see 2 either in the row or box, so these become 4s. This becomes 2 by Sudoku, and this is 1, and we are done. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. All right. I forgot. I haven't been liking the puzzles. Let's like the puzzle. There we go. Which was the beginner arrows by GoldenGate. The digits 1 to 4 must be placed in each row, column, and 2x2 box without repetition. Digits placed on an arrow must sum to the digit placed in that arrow's circle. All right. So once again, we have our normal Sudoku rules for a 4x4. Any complete row, column, or box will contain digits 1 to 4 once each. You're still a beginner. All right, well, this seems like a great pack for you to try out. So please, like I said, I appreciate you being here, but I don't want to spoil these for you. I think that this, again, so far, I've only gone through about 3-4 puzzles now, but this seems like a great way to get into variant Sudoku. I will do a little what's it called? Shameless self-promotion here. You should check out my YouTube channel if you're trying to get into variant Sudoku. I should have my YouTube channel linked on Twitch, and I have variant Sudoku that I solve every day there. There are plenty of channels out there that are solving these daily puzzles. And I should have them linked actually on my YouTube as well. There's Fonk puzzles, there's 24 Gas, and even the creators of the puzzles themselves solve the puzzles every single day. There is a plethora of content available to you out there. Anyways, again, I'm ranting here. I'm getting distracted. So digits 1 to 4 must be placed. So we did that, right? Row, column, and box will have the digits 1 to 4 once each. Then we have digits placed on an arrow must sum to the digit placed in that arrow's circle. So this is the circle of the arrow. If we were to place oh, you came from my YouTube. All right, well, welcome. I'm not again. If you've commented before, I'm sure that I've responded. I try to be pretty diligent about interacting with the community. That's why I'm here. I like interacting with people, right? That's why I'm talking with you right now. So, welcome. Glad that you're getting into it here. So, what must we do with this circle? Well, we're gonna use an example that doesn't really work for this puzzle, but we're gonna place a 6 in here. What that means is these 2 cells that are on the arrow of this circle, right, this 6 circle, must sum to 6. So these digits must sum to 6. Obviously, in our Sudoku, where we're only dealing with the digits 1 to 4, we're a little bit more limited on our options. So those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right, so what are we actually going to do with this? I'm noticing right off the bat a long arrow here. So this long arrow is interesting because if we think about it, right, with the digits 1 to 4, and we do something called minimizing. So minimizing is where we look at the lowest possible digits that we can place on a set, and then of course maximizing is the opposite. We look at the maximum digits that we can place. So if we try to minimize this long line, I say long in terms of a 4x4, we have what? We have 1, 1, 2. 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 4. So we can't go any higher than 4. This must in fact be 4. This becomes 1, and this is a 1-2 pair. This 1-2 pair gives us 3 here. That gives us a 3-4 pair. Now we have the 1-2 pair which gets placed here, but the 1 gives us 1 here, 2 here. Actually, wait a second. Red taff. Sorry, I'm once again getting distracted. I do recognize. I'll come back to that. What can we place? What can we place here? 1, 3, what? Right? 1, 4 is not going to work because 1 plus 4 equals 5. So this must be 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, and here we're missing 2. Here we're missing 3. And then as we work our way down, what are we missing? We're missing 2 and 3. 3 gives us our order. This is 2. This is 3. 2 gives us 1, 2. In the row, we need to place 4. And finally, we need 1, and we're done. 1 minute and 46 seconds for our beginner arrows puzzle by GoldenGate. First kill by Kwame and Falconi. We have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Killer cages. Digits inside cages marked by dashed lines cannot repeat and must sum to the number shown in the top left corner of the cage. All right. What does that mean? Well, again, for our first 6x6, let's go through it. And actually, sorry about that. I am noticing that this is not a good scene for that. So let's transition to that. There we go. That is a better Sudoku pad layout. Not perfect, but definitely better. All right. There we go. First kill by Kwame and Falconi. Normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Killer cages, digits inside cages marked by dashed lines cannot repeat and must sum to the number shown in the top left corner. All right. Any complete row, column, and 2x3 box of this Sudoku will contain the digits 1 to 6 once each. We once again have our killer cages, but this time we have a few more options to work with. So in this case, these 3 digits must sum to 13. These 3 must sum to 6. These 3 must sum to 7, so on and so forth for all the digits throughout the grid. So those are the rules. Oh, I didn't transition to it. Again, sorry, folks. Those are the rules for this Sudoku. Let's just jump right into it. All right, so what are we going to start with here? Well, normally what you want to look for in a killer cage Sudoku are values that are limited. For example, 3 is a value that is very limited. 3 and 2 digits can only be made in one way. That is 1 plus 2. We don't know the order, but again, that gives us a starting point. 6. 6 and 3 digits can only be made in one way, and that's made by minimizing 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. So very quickly we can go 1, 2, 3, and what that benefits us with is it gives us 1, 2, 3 in this direction, and here it gives us 4, 5, 6, and once again here it gives us 4, 5, 6. We'll come back to that because I think I already see where we're going with this, but I did notice the 8, right? 8 without being able to use 1 or 2. So how do we make 8 in 2 digits? We either do that with 1, 7, which doesn't exist in this Sudoku, 2, 6, which doesn't work for this, or 3, 5, right? Because 4, 4 is not going to work. So this must be a 3, 5 pair. This 3, 5 pair gives us 4 here, because that is the only value or only digit missing from this 2x3 box. So we'll pull out the 4 from here. We'll pull out 6 from here. We can pull out 6 from here, or 5 from here, and from here we pull out a 3. And the reason that I can pull a 5 and a 3 out of here are because of this pair here. This 3-5 pair tells us that no matter what, there will always be either a 3 here or a 5 here, or a 5 here and a 3 here, which means that these could never be 5 or 3 respectively. They already exist somewhere in this column. Then, as another added bonus, we have this. We have a 4-6, a 4-5, and a 5-6. This is a concept that has a special name in Sudoku, a name coined by Simon from Cracking the Cryptic, and this is known as a chocolate teapot. So What is a chocolate teapot? It's when you have a triple, this is called. These are called triples. It's a 1, 2, 3 triple. This is a 4, 5, 6 triple because we have three spaces where three digits can go. In this case, we have a 4, 5, 6 triple, but in each space, only one digit can't go there. So the 4 can't go here, the 5 can't go here, and the 6 can't go here. So this is known as a chocolate teapot because the expression goes that this is as useful as a chocolate teapot. This doesn't give us really much information at all, right? Being able to remove 4, 6, and 5 from here doesn't change the fact that this is just still a 4, 5, 6 triple. It hasn't done anything for us, so it's as useful as a chocolate teapot. Um, Again, transitioning back, I'm seeing we have a 7 here. 7 in three digits can only be made in one way. That is 1, 2, and 4. Even without, thinking about the triple here, if we think back to our pair here, this 3, 5 pair, this 1, 2 pair does some work. This 1, 2 pair knocks 1, 2 out of here, which places 4 here, right? Then we have a 1, 2 pair in the column. Now, if we think about the 1, 2 pair in the column, that knocks 1 and 2 out of here to give us 3. Pull 3 out of here. 3 from 13 leaves us with what? 3 from 13 leaves us with 10. How do we make 10 with the digits 4, 5, and 6? Well, we can only do that with 4 and 6, which means this is 5. I am noticing 11. So how do we make 11 in two digits? The only way that we can do that is 5 and 6. And this is on how I was talking about the 1, 2 on the lower end of the spectrum to make 3. 5, 6 exists on the higher end of the spectrum, right? That's our maximum to make 11, which is the two digits. Here I'm actually noticing we do have a triple 14 and a triple or a quadruple 14. So how are we going to make this? Well, if we maximize, right, because 13 gives us some leeway. At least it lets us use 3, 4, 6. I think the only way that we can make 14 is by using 3 plus 5 plus 6. So 5 and 6 is 11, plus 3, 14. So this becomes a 3, 5, 6 triple. But this isn't as useless or as useful as a chocolate teapot because this 3, 5 pair gives us 6 right away. And what do we get? 3, 5. Now this is just a normal Sudoku pair. 3, 5, though, does some work for us down here. So how do we make 5 in two digits? Well, even in a 9 by 9 Sudoku, the only way that you can make 5 in two digits is with the digits 1, 4 or 2, 3. If we try to place 3 here, that means that we're not going to be able to satisfy this 14 cage. So this must be 1, 4, and we know the order because of this 4. 1, 4. 1 gives us 2, 1. We're still missing 2 from the box, so this is 2. That gives us 1 here. 1, 2, 2 here, 3 here. Again, we're looking in the column. 3 gives us 5, 3. And now it's a little bit more useful. 5, we're left with 6. 4, 4, 5, we're left with 5. And this becomes 4. Now, 6, 3, 5, right? 6, 3, 5 needs to go here, but we've already used 5 and 6, so this is 3. We have a 3 in the corner once again. 1, 2, 4 is what we're missing. So this becomes a 1, 2, 4 triple across the row. And now I think we need to go back to this 14 cage. So, 14 in 4 digits. Are we allowed to use 1 in that? Oh, actually, let's be smart. 4 gives us 6, 4. So let's start by doing that. 4 gives us 4 here. So that might whittle down our options a little bit. Are we missing any more Sudoku? We are. 6 gives us 5, 6. So I was jumping ahead a little bit. Clearly, I need to just be looking at Sudoku. And this is where we're going to have some interesting thing. Killer cages are your least favorite because they slow you down at the math, even if it's a simple addition. Well, actually, there is a cage tool which I can show you. If you're okay with using it and you're on Sudoku Pad, which is Sven's tool, then there is a killer cage tool that will actually calculate the killer cages for you. Some people aren't as comfortable using that. On puzzles, I sometimes have it not for calculating the sums, but for showing me how many possibilities there are. Um, it depends. Like, for example, there was the puzzle that I did as part of my New Year special, which was which was Starlight by Ignite Ice. And I had the killer cage tool up, but I wasn't using it for sums. I was just using it to give me the amount of possibilities. So that way, when I was thinking through and I was like, okay, I think this only has one possibility. And if I saw it had two, then I would know that I'm not putting digits in there that don't make sense. But it all depends on your preference. Again, rambling aside, here we're missing what? We're missing 6 from the row, 6. And then now this is where this 3, 5 comes into play. So we'll keep this up. We're missing 1, 2 from here. The question that I have is, we don't really know what's going on with the order of these 1, 2s and these 3, 5s. So how are we going to resolve this? Well, we've already made 10 in 2 digits. We can just eliminate that completely from the 14. That means we have 1, 3 that is remaining. 1, 3 remaining is what gives us that 4, right? That's the only way we're going to make 4. So 2 is too big and 5 is too big. So this becomes 1, 3, and that'll do it for us. 1 gives us 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3 gives us 5, 3, 3, 5, and we're done in 8 minutes and 52 seconds with a few distractions here or there. But yeah, that was first kill by Kwame and Falconi. So on Sudoku Pad, you can go to the settings. Sorry, let me transition to the right scene. You go to the settings and you scroll down, and under the advanced tab, so you'll probably have to open this one up, under the advanced tab, you will have some options: the killer cage calculator and the calculate cell sums. The killer cage calculator is what you're looking for. You can flip that on, and when you go back, you can see it says no cage selected. If you go and you click the 3, you'll see, 3, you'll see it says 1 of 1. 8, it says of 2. 14, it's 1 of 1. When I'm clicking the 13 cage right now, you can't see that, but you can see it here, 1 of 2. I'll click the 14 cage that's made up of 4 digits, and here you go. And if you actually expand it out, it'll give you all the possible killer cage options. So it's a pretty useful tool. I normally am not I'm normally not using it for its full capability, especially in these smaller puzzles, but as we approach 9x9s, it's definitely a very useful tool to you to use. So we have roped into it by bitmask and core dump 110010010100. Um, so we have normal Sudoku rules apply. The digits 1 to 6 must be placed in each row, column, and 2x3 box without repetition. Anti-knight. Cells that are a knight's move apart in chess may not contain the same digit. All right. Again, we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, so any complete row, column, and 2x3 box of the Sudoku will contain the digits 1 to 6 once each. Then for our anti-knight rules, we have to talk about chess and knights in chess. So if we make this cell, we'll actually do it to this cell. If we make this cell blue, this blue cell, if it were a knight in chess, would see 2 digits up, or 2 cells up and 1 across, or 1 across and 2 up. And if you do that for all possible combinations of 2 across and 1, 2 across and 1, 2 across and 1, and 1, and 1, and 1, you get these 8 cells here, which we saw at the beginning of this book, this puzzle book. So we're going to color code these. So what this means right off the bat is that this digit could never be 2 or 5. All right off the bat, this couldn't be 2 or 5, even though it doesn't see 2 or 5 in its row, column, or box. It's just purely by knight's move. I don't think I've used the color tool yet, so if you're, again, on Sven's Sudoku pad, There are a lot of options on the right-hand side for the type of number pad that you can use, and one of them is the color pad. Um, I have the multicolor option enabled in the advanced tab, and that allows me to use multiple palettes, which is why I'm getting this very nice light blue and this dark blue. So those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right, so I don't know if I want to just use the trick that I know with 6x6 anti-knight Sudokus, or if I actually want to go through this as a normal Sudoku. I guess let's come at this from the perspective of I don't know the anti-knight Sudoku trick, and then we will come back and I'll solve the puzzle knowing the trick essentially. So what what are we supposed to do here? Well, I see two threes. So I'm going to start where I have digits already. That's probably the best place to start, right? I have two threes. So let's look at where the threes are pointing. I see that this three sees these two digits by Sudoku, and it also sees these two by Knight's Move. This three sees this digit by Sudoku and this one by Knight's Move, but it's already seen by this one. So that actually just gives us that three goes there. Can that be used for anything? Three, not immediately, sadly. Hmm. All right. Two I'm actually noticing, even though there aren't multiple twos sees this by Sudoku and this by Knight's Move. Again, up two, down one, or across two, down one. So this becomes two by Sudoku. This two sees this two sees this. Okay, not helpful. Two gets limited here. All right, maybe not two. One, four, five. Okay, five, this is an interesting one. Five by Sudoku can't exist in these two cells. So they can only exist in these two cells of the grid, or of the box. So why did I pencil mark that? Why is that interesting? Well, in an anti-knight Sudoku, whether you're looking at a 6x6, a 9x9, even weird like 7x7, it doesn't matter. This idea applies that when you have a pair of digits like this, they see the pair opposite them. What I mean is, if this was the 5, it would see this cell by Sudoku and this cell by Knight's Move, right? If this was the 5, then it would see this cell by Sudoku and this cell by Knight's Move, which tells us that no matter where this is, no matter where the 5 is, 5 could never exist in either of these two cells. Why that's interesting here is that 5, right, can't go here by Sudoku, can't go here by Knight's Move from this 5. Well, we also know now that this 5 pair sees this, which gives us 5 here and 5 here. Now, 3, 1, 4, what are we missing? We're missing 4, 6. We will pencil mark that, 4, 6. Again, not immediately helpful, but we'll see how it works. We are missing 2 in this column. The only place 2 can go, can't go here because of the Knight's Move, must be here. That means we get 1, 4, 6 pasted down here. But now, this is special. This can't be 1 by Knight's Move, and it can't be 4 by Sudoku. So this must be 6, which gives us that this is 6 here. If this is 6, then this is 4. 6 sees this by Knight's Move, so this is 6, and this is 2 by Sudoku in the box. 6 gives us a 1, 4 pair. 4 goes here. This is 1. 4 sees this, which makes that 1, this 4. And then we're missing 4 in the row here. This is 4. This is 5. We're missing 1, 3, and 6. So we'll throw down 1, 3, 6. We are missing 2, 3. And again, this 2, 3 pair does some really good work for us. This 3 sees these cells. No matter where the 3 is, 3 could never go in either of these cells. So this becomes 3 by Sudoku. We get the 1, 6, which doesn't really do the same work. 3 is important because 3 sees this cell by Knight's Move. So this is 2, this is 3. That tells us that this is 3 by Sudoku. 2 must go here by Sudoku. We're missing 1. We still need to place 4 down here. We still need to place 5. And we have 6, right? Then in the column, we're missing 1. 1 sees this, so this is 6, 1. In the column, we're missing 5. And in this column, or in this box, no matter where you look, and in the row, theoretically, there should only be one digit that will apply, and that digit is 6, and we are done. 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Nice job there, partner. Well, thank you very much to bitmask and core dump for core dump 1100101000 for that puzzle roped into it. And I'm assuming what I should have been looking for there, and I kind of got distracted. What I should have been looking for is something called roping. So roping in a Sudoku is when you have digits that see each other in a special way. So when we place 316 here, right, it tells us that this is also 316. So what we get is we get little 316 rope. In a 6x6 Sudoku, the row isn't as important as the column, and I see we do have it in the column. So these ropes, right, that's what these little collections of digits are. These ropes, right, tell us some really important information. The second that we get 3, 5 here and 3, 5 here, it tells us that these two cells must also be 3, 5, because if you think about where 3, 5 can go in this box, it can't go here, it can't go here, it must go here. And we can see that throughout. 6, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2. And what's really great is the second that you get one set of roping like this, which I should have realized sooner once I got the 5, because I got the 5, I think, earlier on. What I should have noticed is the second you're getting the 5 here, right? Yeah, I got the 3, 5. It instantly tells you that everything like that we're roped here. We're fully roped, because if you think about it then, if we color, we're going to go back to our color coding. If you look at whatever these two digits are, then these two digits sees these two cells, which means they must appear here, which means they must appear here. And you get, again, another set of ropes. And finally, you get the 1, 4 ropes. This will be a lot more substantial in in 9x9 Sudokus, but clearly that's where bitmask and core dump wanted us to look with this. Now, I've ranted a little bit here, but what I want to do is I want to discuss the um, the sorry, one second. The what I called the trick to a knight's move 6x6. So in a knight's move 6x6, there's a very interesting property where if you checkerboard the grid, which we will do right now with our color tool, if you checkerboard the grid, what you'll notice is, we'll use our light blue again, what you'll notice is in the dark part of the checkerboard, there is only one set of digits that exists, 3, 4, 6. In every box, every row, every column, the blue digits that are the checkerboard are always going to be 3, 4, 6. And if you look in the boxes, right, or in the light cells of the boxes, rows, and columns, you will notice that it is only ever 1, 2s, and 5s. And this will happen with any 6x6 knight move Sudoku. So, theoretically, a way that you could solve this puzzle fairly quickly, which we'll actually go through here, we'll restart, is using that concept. So if we look and we checkerboard, right? I cleared the checkerboarding, but we'll re-checkerboard and we'll do it the opposite way, right? If we checkerboard and we place cells like this, we can instantly see that we need 1, 2, and 5 to exist within our blue. Well, we have 1 here. 1 gives us 1 here, 2 here. 2, 5 give us 1. 1, 2 give us 5. 1, 5 give us 2. 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 2, 5. 2, 5. And you can see how crazy this can get. 5, 2. 2, 1, 5. So this becomes 1. This becomes 5. 5, 1. And 1, 2. Then we need to place 3, 4, and 6, which are remaining digits. 3 can only go here. 3 can only go here. 3 can only go here, 3 can only go here, 4. 4 gets placed here, here, and here, and here, and here, and 6 gets placed here, 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 and here, and we're done in 1 minute and 1 second. It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick, and it doesn't teach you a lot about Knight's Move, but it's a very, very cool thing that a 6x6 Sudoku can do. Extremely Good Vibes by Hallalujah. Normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Cells separated by an X must sum to 10. Cells separated by a V must sum to 5. Not all X's and V's are necessarily given. All right, so what are we looking at? Normal Sudoku rules apply tell us that any complete row, any complete column, and any complete 2x3 box of the Sudoku will contain the digits 1 to 6 once each. Then we have our XV clues. So cells separated by an X must sum to 10. That means whatever these two digits are, right, they must sum to 10. So if this is 1, this would be 9. If this is 2, then this is 8. If this is 3, this is 7. So on and so forth, to actually seemingly the only pair that we can use for this Sudoku. But I digress. Then we have our V clue. So cells separated by a V must sum to 5. So we've already talked about it. The two pairs that will sum to 5 in any, 4x4, 6x6, 9x9. The pairs that will sum to 5 will always be 2, 3, and 1, 4. So that's what we'll be looking for. But again, we have that key rule there. Not all X's and V's are necessarily given. So this was a rule that we saw in our Kropki dots. What do these rules actually mean for us? Well, it means that this pair is allowed to be a 2, 3, I did that in specific order, a 2, 3 pair, purely because of what? Nothing. It doesn't matter, right? Even though there's no V separating these two, it doesn't mean that they're not allowed to exist. If we were given a rule set that said all X's and V's are given, what it would once again tell us is that if we place 2 here, none of these cells could be a 3 to sum to 5. But again, that's something that gets a little bit more complicated, not something we have to worry about right now. So those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right, so I see 2 on the V. That means these will be 3. That's pretty straightforward. But X, when I was thinking about X, I realized something. Well, in a 1 to 6 Sudoku, the only pair that adds up to 10 is going to be your 4-6 pair. That is the only pair that'll add up to 10. And the second you put a 4-6 pair on a V, you know the order. It must be 6-4 with 1. We know that this V must be a 2-3 pair, 2-3, and 5 gets thrown here. Once again, we have a 4-6 pair. This becomes a 1-5 pair, because that's the only set that's missing from the set of 1 to 6 here. We account for 2, 3, 4, and 6, which means we must place 1 and 5 somewhere. 2, 3, again, I am noticing the X. So X, once again, gives us the order. 6, 4, 1. 4 gives us 6, 4. So let's get that order out of the way. 1, 5, we're missing 5 here from the row. 3, 2, 3 goes here, 2 goes here. We're missing, what? We're missing 2 and 5, so this is 2, this is 5. From the column, we're missing 1. We still need to place 4 and 6, which we surprisingly don't have the order for, so we'll throw that down there. 4, 6, though, does give us 1. 1 by Sudoku goes here. That does give us 5, 1. 1, we've done our 1s. 5 by Sudoku will go here. We're still missing 6 from the column, so this is 6. In the box, now we've placed a 6, so this is 4, this is 6. 6 again, 4, 6. We need to place 4 and 5. This is 5, this is 4. Oh, we get 2 here, and to finish us off, we get 3 in the corner in 1 minute and 52 seconds for Extremely Good Vibes by Hallalujah. Circuits by Chaos and Roundout. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Thermometers. Numbers on a thermometer must strictly increase as they move away from the bulb. All right. These are often known as thermos colloquially, but a thermometer is just like a thermometer, I guess. I don't know. I had I had thermometers as a kid, like physical thermometers. I don't know if those are as common nowadays, but essentially on the thermometer you would have the bulb, which is the circle bit, and you'd have the tip, right? So the numbers increase from the bulb to the tip. So as you move along the thermometer, right? As you move along the thermometer, the digits will increase. And that's because in a thermometer, in a normal thermometer, you would have the lowest temperature at the bottom. And as the liquid in the thermometer bulb heats up, as the temperature outside heats up, then the fluid expands and starts moving up the thermometer to indicate higher temperatures. In the same way, we have these thermometers that move up and tell us that the digits are getting higher. So for example, if this was 2, this cell would have to be something greater than 2. So it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5, but it couldn't be 6, right? And we'll go over that in a second. But it could be 3, 4, 5. Let's say 4 here, and then this could be 5 or 6. We'll just put 6. Now, why did I say 6 can't go here? Well, because if you try to place 6, or whatever your maximum is in your given Sudoku, down a thermometer from the tip, it tells you that you would need a digit higher than that digit. Well, if it's already your maximum digit, how are you going to place a digit that's higher than that? You can't. In the same way, you cannot place 1, or whatever your lowest digit is, up a thermometer. It must appear in the bulb, and that's because what digit are we going to place that's lower than 1? Nothing. There is no option there. So, if we have to place 1 on a thermometer, it will appear on the bulb, and if we have to place 6 on a thermometer, it will appear on the tip. All right. Those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right. Right off the bat, your eye should be drawn to the longest thermometer. Shorter thermometers aren't generally as restricted. Longer thermometers are. And actually, if we look at this, this is a 6th length thermometer in any Sudoku. If you are using digits like 1 to 9 or 1 to 7 or 1 to 8 or 1 to 4, if you have a thermometer that is the length of the amount of digits that you can use, it must in fact be all of those digits. It must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then, what that does for us is we're missing 2 and 5 from here. 2, 5 give us the order. 2 here, 5 here. 5 here, sorry. I was like, why does that look funky to me? 1, 3, go here. 4, 6, go here. And this is actually the first point that we will use that little trick I was talking about. Can 1 go up the thermometer? The answer is no. In fact, it can't. So this must be 3, this must be 1. Another trick that I didn't mention, but is coming into play here, is that if you place a digit X amount of spaces above the thermometer, so 1, 2, 3, and it is in fact that digit, what it tells you then is that you are limited on this thermometer. This 3 is the third digit up the thermometer, which tells us that the second digit must be 2 and the first digit must be 1. Now, we are limited. Okay, so it doesn't seem like we would be limited. We should be able to place 4 or 6 here. But if you did place 4 here, what digit will be lower than 4? Well, 3, 2, or 1. 1 can't go up the thermometer, and 3 can't go here, which means this would have to be 2, but it can't be 2 by Sudoku, which means this must be 6, and this must be 4. So that's an interesting little thing there. 3, 6, and now we're a little less worried, because on a thermometer, once again, we are pretty with 6 being there, there are a lot of options. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something that is again colloquially known as goodliffing, named after, my understanding, is Mark Goodliff, who is another one of the cracking the cryptic solvers. Right next to Simon. And what you do is you just mark all the possibilities. So 6 tells us that this at most can be 5, and this theoretically could go all the way down to 2, but in this case we know that it can't. So we're going to go 5, 4, 3. This can't be 3 by Sudoku. If this is 6, 5, again maximizing to find the most amount of digits that we could place, 6, 5, this would be 4. It can't be 3. It can be 2. It can't be 1. So we have now good lift, quote unquote, the thermo there to find all the possibilities. Again, we can use our little trick. Where are we going to place 1 in this column? Well, we know 1 can't go here or here. Can it go on the tip of the thermometer? The answer is no. So this is 1 here. And 1 here does give us 1 by Sudoku in the row and column. So here we go. We get 1 here. Then what are we missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to place 5, 6. What that does for us is it gives us 2, 3, 4. How are you going to place 2, 3, 4 where the digits increase? Well, in this way, 2, 3, 4, digits increasing. We are missing what? We're missing 3 and 6, so we will pencil mark the 3, 6 pair we're missing. We are missing 4 and 5, which we will pencil mark. And we actually do get a 4, 5 pair in the row. What that does is it gives us 1, 3, 6. 1, where is 1 going to go? 1 can only go here, and this becomes a 3, 6. And again, we have the 3, 6 pair across. In the column here, we are missing what? Okay. We need to place either 2, 4, or 5. Where does 2 go? Well, this definitely can't be 2, not just because of Sudoku, but because of another thing. In the same way that we can't place 1 up a thermometer, you cannot place 2 up or 3 up a thermometer. You can't place 3, 4 up a thermometer, because what that results in is, if again, ignoring Sudoku here, if you tried to place 2 here, this would be 1, and this would be what? 0, right? So that's never going to work for you. So this cannot be 2. If it can't be 2, this down here is the only place 2 can go, and we end up with a 4, 5 pair. We will go through and we'll mark the options on the Sudoku here. So we can also good lift a Sudoku from the bottom up. So in this case, this cannot be 1 or 2. Right? This cannot be 1 or 2. So the least that it can be is 3. Well, can't be 4. Can it ever be 5? Well, if you try to place 5 here, the same thing happens like when we try to place 2 here. We get 5, 6. 6 ends up down the thermometer, which won't work for us. So the only option for us here is in fact 3, with a 3 in the corner. I will come back to what this thermometer is because I do see Sudoku, so let's just address Sudoku real quick. Whoops. We'll address Sudoku real quick. 3, 6. And then we will jump back. 3 here, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 4. Here we're missing 2. And then here is where we finish ourselves off. So this needs to be 4 or 6. Right? We're missing 4 and 6 from the, again, ignoring Sudoku here. 4 and 6. Could this ever be 6? By thermo, we say no, it can't be. So this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 5, and to finish us off, the final digit is 6, and we are done in 6 minutes and 27 seconds with Circuits by Chaos and Roundout. Beginner City by Archangel Zero and Bronze. Normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Every row, column, and 2x3 box must contain a complete set of the digits 1 to 6. All right, we'll do that real quick. And actually, I have noticed that all right, I think that's, sorry, something I needed to address real quick. The timer was looking weird for me. I don't know why. Anyways, skyscraper now. Each cell represents a skyscraper whose height is the digit in that cell. Taller skyscrapers obscure the view of smaller ones. Clues outside the grid tell how many skyscrapers are visible looking across the row or column from the direction of the clue. All right, so this rule set can be a bit complicated. There was a very good visual that I wish I had on hand here, because it was quite cool the way that this was animated. But if we consider, let's just do an example. So we'll do the 4 example. So there's a few ways that we could do 4. So we will do 4 in this way. We'll place 6 here. Um, and what we'll do is we'll try a few different combinations. We'll do just kind of random combinations. We'll do 2, 1. We'll go 5, 3, 4. All right. So this is a way to fill out this row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are all accounted for. But does this satisfy our skyscraper rule? Well, if we look at the 4 and we say if we're sitting there, we're the 4 sitting there staring down the row in this direction, right, from the direction of the clue, then we need to be able to see 4 skyscrapers. Well, if we look in this direction, we see the skyscraper that is 4 stories tall. Do we see the skyscraper that is 3 stories tall behind it? The answer is no. We're not going to see that skyscraper. That's going to be invisible to us because it's hidden by the 4 skyscraper. Then we'll look, okay, we do see the 5 skyscraper because it is taller than the 4. Do we see the 6 skyscraper? Yes, we do, because it is taller than the 5, right? And then do we see the 1 and 2 skyscrapers? The answer is no, because they are both shorter than the 6. So in this case, the setup that we have chosen does not in fact satisfy the 4 clue, right? A way that would satisfy it is if we threw maybe, let's say, 4 over here, and we put the 2, the 2 here. Now we see the 2. Do we see the 3? The answer is yes, we see the 3. Do we see the 5? Yes. Do we see the 6? Yes. And then the 1, 4, we don't see those. And you might think, oh, well, if I see a 4 here, doesn't that just tell me that 6 goes here? Well, that's not necessarily true because of what we were showing, right? If this was the 6 and this was the 1, right? Then exactly the same thing would happen, right? You would have 2, 3, 5, where you can see all of these skyscrapers, right? From the perspective of 4, I can see the 2 skyscraper. The 3 is taller than the 2. 5 is taller than the 3. The 1 is shorter, so I don't see it. And the 6 is taller, so I do see it. Where we have now satisfied this clue. So, very interesting rule set. We'll see how this plays out here. I can already see the application, and then you'll learn some tidbits of how skyscrapers work. But all that rambling, those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right. So what are we looking at here? Well, the little tidbit that's good to know is that a skyscraper set that is 1 tall tells us that the highest digit, in this case 6, must appear directly next to the clue, which means that any other skyscrapers are hidden by this one, which means you will only ever see 1 skyscraper, which makes sense. This also becomes 6 by the 1. Now, the next tidbit is if you have a skyscraper that is as tall as you have numbers, right? This is a 6 skyscraper in a 6 by 6 Sudoku. What it tells you is every single cell here must be visible to the 6. The only way to do that is with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And 6 plays a very important role because if you ever try to put 6 too close, right, to any given number of skyscraper, everything breaks, right? If you place a 6 here, this now can only ever see 2 cells. So 6, right, which is our highest digit, must be placed at least skyscraper tall away. So in this case, the 6 must be placed at least 4 spaces away. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we look past that, we've already placed 6 in the columns. So this is the only place where 6 can go. Again, we're using our cool little trick of the roping here. 4, 5, 6. We get 4, 5, which will both be hidden by the 6, and we still have to place 1, 2, 3. Not even pencil marking. We need to have all 3 of these skyscrapers visible to this 4. The only way to do that is 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is interesting. 5. If you placed, you could place 6 here because you could go 4. Where do I want to look with this? 4. So from this 4's perspective, so we've satisfied this clue, this clue, this clue. I wish I could like indicate that somehow, but we still need to satisfy the 3 here, the 4 here, and the 3 here. The 4 here is interesting because by already placing 4 here, we've obscured the 3 here. 6 in this box, could it ever appear here? Well, that would be too close, right? The 6 needs to be at least 4 away. So that means this is 6, and this is 6 by Sudoku. With this now being the 6, 6, 4, we need to place, like, this will only ever see 2 skyscrapers. We need to see 2 more skyscrapers, which means the 5 could never go down here. And specifically, we do know the order. This is 1, and this is 2. So we get 1, 2 here to give us 5 here. Now, with this 5, 6 in place, we somehow need to block the view to the 2, right? Because if we don't and we place like, let's say this cell didn't exist, we placed a 1 here, right? 1, 2, 5, 6, we've now seen 4 cells. But if we block it with a 4, for example, too close, or too far, you get a 1 or 3 here. And 1 or 3 here would allow you to see over the wall, I guess. So, question is, what digit goes here? Well, if this is a 3, right, then the 3 would stare down the line, it would block the 2, and you would need to block a different skyscraper, so this would be a 1. So this would be 3, 1, and then this would be 4. Then, 4, no, that's fine. Maybe it isn't fine. Maybe we have to think about this skyscraper now, because 6 here, if we place 4 here, so as usual, I'm probably making this more complicated than it needs to be, but I think it's important to kind of work through this logic, right? We're kind of learning together here, right? 4, right? 4, if we're looking at this from the 3 perspective, it would need to see 1 more digit here, right? If you tried to make this a 5, for example, you would only ever see 2 skyscrapers, which is not going to work. Well, any other digit you put here will be shorter than the 4, which is either a 2 or 3. That means you would see the 2, 3, or 3, the 4, and then you still need to place 5. You'd see 1, 2, the 5, and 6. You'd see 4 skyscrapers. So this actually can never be 4. This wouldn't work, which means this can't be 3. If this can't be 3, it must be 4, which leaves us with a 1, 3 pair here. Do we even need to pencil mark it? No, because 1 is already accounted for in the box / row. So this is 3, 1 like this. We still need to place 4, 5. Now, if we think about 4, 5, can 5 go here? No, because of the same reason I said before, you would only see 2 skyscrapers. So this must be 4 here, 5 here. And we still need to place 2, 5. 2 goes here, 5 goes here, 5 gives us 4, 5. We're missing 1, 3 once again. This is 3, this is 1. 6, 3, 3, 4. 4. Oh, we're gonna get what I want again. We need to place 1, 5. This is 1. This is 5. We need to place 2, 4. This is 2. This is 4. In the row, we're missing 2. And finally, we're missing a 3 in the corner. In 6 minutes and 34 seconds with Beginner City by Archangel Zero and Bronze. Wittle, Kiwwas by Miss Peacock and Scaly, Griffon. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The digits 1 to 6 appear once each in every row, column, and 2x3 box. Little killers, Wittle Kiwwas, clues outside the grid are the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal. Digits can repeat if allowed by other rules. All right, so what does that mean? Well, let's take a look. These arrows all point along diagonals. So for example, this 24 clue points to this diagonal. That means these 5 digits must sum, to 24. These 6 digits, if I can mark them correctly, must sum to 34. These 3 must sum to 5. These 3 must sum to 7. These 4 must sum to 8, so on and so forth. We'll see how that plays out. We already have some indicators of where we need to start, but those are the rules. Let's jump right into it. All right. So the idea of minimums is probably going to be important with this, and maximums, once again. So 1 gives us 1, that's easy. 2 gives us 2, that's easy. 5. If we try to minimize along this line, we can't use 2 in any of these cells because this 2 sees the box and it sees the column. So the minimum that we could do is 2 1s, right? Because digits can repeat if allowed by other rules. We could have a 1 here with a 1 here or here, and a 3. So what is 1 plus 1 plus 3? Well, that is in fact 5. So it gives us right away that 1 goes here, and we get a 1-3 pair here. And like I was saying, minimums and maximums. I know that 6 times 6 is 36. Well, 34 is pretty freaking close to 36. And if I actually look down the line, I realize why that's happening. Because these 2 cells, or these sets of cells, these sets of 2 cells, there we go, that are along this diagonal are what? They can't both be 6. All 4 of these can't be 6, but they can be a 5-6 pair, which means along this diagonal, if it was all 6 6s, you lose 1 in one of them from wherever is a 5, and from the other one you also lose 1, and that's how you get to 34. So that means that these are both 6s and these are 5-6 pairs. Those are pretty quick to spot just because, I'm thinking about maximums and minimums, right? How do we make that? Can we do the same thing in this direction? Well, 6 by 5 is in fact 30. So not so much in this case. If so, kind of stuttering here. 6 from 24 is 18. Another way to think about this diagonal now is not as a 24 diagonal, but as making 18 and 6 18 and 6 digits, 18 in 4 digits, right? Because we can remove 6 from the 24. 6 by 3 is 18, but again, that's not that helpful. So if we think about the maximum, we end up with a double 6, so 6 here, and double 5. So 6 by 3 is 18, double 5 is 10, so you get 28. So we're a little bit high on that 124, so it doesn't seem like we're going to be pushing towards a maximum. 8 does look like it might be pushing towards a minimum, though. Well, no, because these are all in different cells, or different boxes. So 7 and 3 digits, which I guess is also what we're doing here. 7 and 3 digits, well, in this case is actually interesting. In this case is interesting because 1, right, tells us that none of these can be 1. Well, then the minimum is 2. I should have looked at this right after looking at the 5. 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3 is 7. So this is 2, and this is a 2, 3 pair. We're seeing some really nice symmetry that I should have probably been applying earlier than I have here. None of these can be 6. Most of these can't be 5. So we can have double 5 at most, then triple 4. Okay, so that gives us 22. So we're a little bit high on that end. I don't think that's necessarily where we need to look. So let's continue where we were looking with the 8. So 7 in 7 in 3 digits, where this is a 2 or 3. If it's 3, we need to make 4 in 2 digits. 4 in 2 digits, not too challenging. That's going to be a actually this could be a 2-2, couldn't it? This could be a 2-2 duplicated. Oh no, it couldn't be because this would be 3 and this would be 2. So it couldn't be a 2-2 duplicated. It would have to be a 1-3, which would give us the order there. So that's interesting. If this is 3, then this is 1-3. If this is 2, on the other hand, we need to make up 5 in 2 digits. 5 in 2 digits would either be 2-3 or 1-4. 2 makes this 3. 3 would be 2-3. That would be fine. 2-2-3-1 or 3-3-1-1. I actually don't know how to think about that. Can we do Sudoku? Not immediately seeing it. Oh, yes I am. 2. 2-3-2. So this is why you need to look for Sudoku, because I'm sitting there trying to calculate all these combinations when I really didn't need to. We get 3 here, which means we need to make 4 in 2 digits. We've already said it can't be 2-2. It must be 1-3. We know the order 1-3. 1-3 gives us 3 here, 1 here. And now we're cooking with gas. 1-2-3 does leave us 4-5-6. I will pencil mark that just because, again, we're looking at this this line here, right? 4-5, and actually 4-5-6 tells us that this is 3. We can do 3 and 3 here. Can we do 1? 1. We don't have 1, but we do have something called an X-wing. I don't think I've done this one yet. When you have a pair of digits, 1 or otherwise, that you're not sure how to place, and they exist in this pattern where if you place a 1 here, a 1 would go here, or a 1 here and a 1 would go here, you get what you call an X-wing, right? It makes like an X shape if I could draw the lines between them. So this is known as an X-wing pattern. And X-wing patterns can come into play where, for example, uh, in a 3x3, these act as pointing, what they're called pointing pairs or pointing ones or virtual pairs that stare down the line. Like if we didn't have 1 here, right, and we couldn't figure out if 1 went here or here by Sudoku, this 1 here, even though we didn't know where it would go, if it went here or here, it would always see this row, which would place 1 there. So just a little, again, a little aside. 4, 5, 6. This is 4, 5. And this is now where I probably should be looking at the 16 because we've placed 1, 3, 3. So 1, 3, 3 is 7, which means we need to make 9 in 2 digits. How in the world are we going to make 9 in 2 digits? Well, this cannot be... Can this be 1? I guess that's the quick answer. Can this be 1? The answer is no, because you'd need 8 to make 9. So this must be 1, this must be 1. So you've already resolved that. But even better, it gives us a 4, 5. If this is 4, okay. If this is 4, then this would need to be 5 to make 9. Can it be 5 by Sudoku? The answer is no, because we've already counted for 5 with our 5, 6 pair. So this must be 5, this must be 4, which just kind of gives us everything here. This will become 4, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. This becomes 4. This becomes 6, 6, 5, 6. Over here, we need to place 5. Here, we need to place 2. Here, we need to place 4. And now I'm just kind of speeding through it. I'm going through the rows and columns. I've completely... Well, I went through the combinations of the 24, but I honestly, I didn't end up needing it. This is 5. This is 2. And we can actually just go through and check this real quick. 5 and 5 is 10. Oh, wait. Maybe I did something wrong. 5 and 5 is 10. 6 and 4. What did I do? 6 and 4 is 10. And we get 22. Oh, 5. We need 5 again. Oh, how did I? Okay. Clearly I'm a little blind here. Oh, 5 makes this 4, 4, 5. And now that makes a little bit more sense. There we go. I don't mind me, folks. Do not mind me. 2, this becomes 5. I guess I shouldn't have been speeding through it because I made a silly mistake there. 4 makes this not. Oh, this is 2 again. This is 5. So wait a second. Now I've really screwed something up. 9, 6, 5, 6, 4, and this is 5, which should be done. But again, I've this is my fault. Again, I've underestimated Miss Peacock and Scaly Griffon here. So let's go back. Clearly, I'm rushing through things. So we're here. I'm pretty satisfied that this is correct. So if this is 4, if we can do math, right? 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. To make 16, right? What are we working with here? 9. 9 in 2 digits using 4 or 5 will leave us with 4 or 5. This cannot be 5 or 6, so this is 4. 4 gives us 5 here to complete this. 5 gives us 4. 6 gives us 4. Oh, this doesn't need to be 6. That's my fault. That's the mistake that I've made. 5, 6. 5, 6 gives us 4 here. 4 leaves us with 5, 6. This becomes 2 once again. All right, this is 2. This is 5. This is 4. And we did need the 24. 4 goes here. This becomes 2. And this becomes 5 and 6. And now, after all of that, we need to care about the 5, 6. So 4, 6 is what? 4, 6 gives us 10. With the 2 is 12. That means we need to make up 12 in 2 digits. The only way we can do that is if both of these digits are 6. And there we go. To finish us off here, the last 5 6s should all be 5. And we are now done in 11 minutes and 23 seconds with Wittle Kiwwas by Miss Peacock and Scaly Griffon. Right, X and V's by bitmask. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Each 9x9 box, row, and column must contain a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. All right, so again, our first 9x9 Sudoku, it follows all the rules as before, but instead of just using the digits 1 to 4 or 1 to 6, we are using the digits 1 to 9. We have our XV sums, which are the V sums or X sums are a little less restricted, or yes, a little less restricted now that we have more digits to play with. But cells separated by a V must sum to 5. Cells separated by digits separated by a V must sum to 5. Digits separated by an X must sum to 10. Not all X's and V's are necessarily given. So this is once again our XV clues. The V's sum to 10, or V's sum to 5, X's sum to 10. And again, that key point, not all X's and V's are necessarily given. So 7, these are all allowed to be 3's, even though there is no X in between the 7 and any of its orthogonally connected cells. Orthogonally being sharing an edge, so any of these cells like this, and these would be diagonally connected cells. And that's going to come into play with our next rule, which is our anti-king rule. Cells that are a chess king's move apart must not contain the same digit. So we went over chess knight. We haven't gone over chess king. If this 6 was a king in chess, then the king, we'll actually use the dark blue, the king can move one space, one cell, in any orthogonal direction or any diagonal direction to any of the adjacent cells. So orthogonal means like vertical and horizontal, and diagonal means exactly that. It means diagonal. So those set of 8 cells are all seen by this 6. So normally this 6 would only ever see these cells by Sudoku and this cell by Sudoku in the box, right? Because each 9x9 box, row, and column must contain the complete set of digits 1 to 6. But also this 6 sees this cell, and this cell. And that holds true for all the digits here today. So those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right. Where do we want to start? Well, I do see 1. 1 does give us 9, right? We have a digit already on our X, so that'll give us that right away. V can't be 1, so it must be 2, 3. So we'll pencil mark that. 8V. V can't be 2, 3. This V can't be 2, 3 because then it would see this and not allow any possibility there, which means it must be 1, 4. The 1 gives us 4, 1. Now, this V is seen by 1, which means it must be a 2, 3V. This cell can't be 1 or 4, which means this V must be 2, 3. And in the same way, this can't be 1, 4, so this must be 2, 3. This can't be a 2, 3, so this must be 1, 4. And I think that is it for our V's. So 4 gives us 1, 4. And I don't think we have enough. Actually, we have 0 2s or 3s available to us in this Sudoku. I do see lots of 1, 4, 9s, probably just because those are right nearby the start. But all right, where do we want to move on? Well, Sudoku is a possibility. I am noticing, you know, things like this, like the 8s here, or the 7s here, and actually the 7 here does give us 7 here, right? Things like this is what you want to look for, like 6s here, like the 6s here give us 6. And I guess in this case also we want to look for symmetry, right? We got the double 6, double 4 doesn't do it for us. 4, 9, double 9 doesn't do it for us. But those are the types of things we want to look for. So we got the 6. 6 gives us 4 here. That's by X. 7 gives us 3 here by the X. 3, what are we missing in what? Let's look in the column. In the column we're missing 1, 5, 9. 5 can't go in either of these cells, so this becomes 5. This becomes a 1, 9 pair. Now I actually want to think about this X. So this can't be a 1, 9 pair. Can it be a 2, 8 pair? It can. It can be 2, 8 specifically in this order. Oh no, it can't because of the 2, 3. So actually this can't be a 2, 8. It can't be a 3, 7. It must be a 4, 6. And we know the order here thanks to the 6 and the 4. We know that it's 6, 4 like this. In the column now, we need to place 9, which can only go here, as well as 8, which can only go here. And that's again, I guess, harkening back to this 8 that we knew had to go here or here. But the 8, we should have realized that I said this can be 8 too, but it couldn't have been because of the 2, 3. So things like that I'll try not to overlook in the future. We need to place 2, 3, and 6, right? Because we have 1, 9 as a pair, but this 2, 3 kind of exists on its lonesome. So this becomes a 2, 3, 6 triple here. This has a lot of options. 1, 2, 3, 5, which isn't necessarily ideal. So, what are we going to do with this X? This X can't be 1, 9. It can't be 2, 8. It can't be 4, 6, which means it must be 3, 7. I was going to say, do we know the order? We don't, but it doesn't matter because 3, 7 tells us that this must be 2, this must be 3. 2, 3, 7, we're missing 9 from the row. This must be 9 then. 9 goes here, and then what are we missing? Oh, we do have 9, 1. I put down a 1, 9 pair, but I'm completely blind to the given 9, which are the black digits. The black digits are the givens, the given 9. 9 definitely has to go here now, which means if 9 does have to go here, it must be a 1, 9 pair, which means we know the order. This is 1 and this is 9. Now, is this interesting? We need to place 3, 7, right, because we already have that missing, as well as 4 and 8. 4 can only go here. And then here we're missing what? 3, 7, and 8. Yeah, so we have a 3, 7, 8 triple in the box. We do know that 7 can't go here by Sudoku, so that is a restriction that we should mark. 3, 8, 3, 7, 8. 2, 3. We're missing what? 4 and 9. And we know the order. Excuse me, 9, 4. 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 8. Maybe the column is helpful here, right? There aren't a lot of digits. There aren't many digits missing. It's 2, 5, 7. 7 can't go here, here. So this must be 7. Then we're left with 2, 5. We don't know the order, but this is a pair which will help us try to isolate this. But more importantly, 7 gives us 3 here, 7 here. 7 gets knocked out of here as a 3, 8. 3 gives us 2, 3 all the way up here. And then let's think about this now. This 2, 3, or 8, it can't be 3 or 2, I just noticed. So this must be 8. 8 gives us 3 here, 8 here. 3 gives us 2 here, 3 here. We are missing 2 and 5. 2 gives us 5 here, 2 here. In the column, we still need to place 6 and 7. This can't be 6. This is 7. This is 6. Now this pair is interesting because it leaves us with what? A 4, 8 pair. And 4 gives us 4 here and 8 here. 2, 3, 5, and 7. 7 can't go here. So this must be 7. This becomes a 2, 3, 5. Don't know the order. So that's a 2, 3, 5 triple across there. We are only missing a pair here. A 1, 2 pair. 1 gives us 2 here, 1 here. From the box, we need to place 2, 5, and 8. That's what it is. 2, 5, and 8. Blanking there for a second. 8 by Sudoku can only go here. 2 gives us 2 there, and we get 5 here. From the column, we still need to place 6 and 7. No, not 6 and 7. 7 and 8, sorry. 7 and 8 are given to us. 7, 8. We need to place 5 now. 5 and 6. This is 5. This is 6. 6, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3 with a 3 in the corner. Get a 6 here. 3. Left with 2, 5 across. We'll come back to that in a moment. In the row here, we still need to place 1. We need to place 5. We need to place 3. And then 2, 5, 2, 5. Something's got to give. What are we missing? We're missing 1. And then here, uh-oh. What have I done? 2, 5. And I'm left with an X-wing here. What have I done? Let's look at ones. Clearly I'm rushing through these puzzles because I have broken things twice in a row. I could blame the fact that it's getting a little bit late for me. But I'd like to think that even so, 7, 8, 9. What have I broken? Because this, what we have here is we have a double X-wing, a 2, 5. And right now, it doesn't seem like it matters what order things go in. 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if it was 2 here, with 2 here, 5 here, 5 here, it says nice work. So the puzzle is solved like this. I'm assuming it's a solution checker, so did I miss something here? Like, why can't this be 5, 5, 2, 2? That's interesting. 2, 2, 5, 5 solves the puzzle, but 5522 doesn't. Did I miss something? I don't know what I've missed there. I think someone's gonna have to someone's gonna have to let me know what's going on with that one because oh my goodness, I forgot a rule. That's what's going on with this one. So let's go back. Let's go back. I'm sitting here ranting, trying to figure out what I did wrong when I've done, in fact, nothing wrong. I've just been silly and forgot a rule. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I've missed because I completely forgot that this was an anti-king Sudoku. So I just got so distracted with X and V's that I forgot anti-king was even a thing. And I guess at the end, the anti-king is used to disambiguate this. This cannot be a 2 because it is seen by this 2 here. I completely forgot about the anti-king rule set. I apologize for that. I am just in fact silly, which is no surprise, but there we go. 9 minutes and 17 seconds. X and V's by Bitmask. I apologize, Bitmask, for completely forgetting the rules there, but there you go. Maybe it is getting late. I'm just completely forgetting entire rules now. We have Cruella DeVille by GoldenGate and Hallalujah. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. Digits may not repeat within cages. Cells separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio. Cells separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. All right. Killer cage. These these dotted slash dashed lines are our cages. It tells us here, for example, 20, it tells us that these 3 digits must sum to 20. These 4 digits must sum to 12. These 4 digits must sum to 10. These must sum to 29, 22, 14, 6, so on and so forth. Then we have a bunch of black and white dots scattered throughout. These are Kropki dots. That's what they're known as. And we have the black dot, which tells us that the digits in the cell separated by the black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio. What that means is one digit is twice the value of the other digit. So for example, 1 and 2, 2 is twice of 1. 4 and 2, 4 is twice of 2. 8 and 4, 6 and 3 are your examples. Then we have our white dots. So these cells must be consecutive. Consecutive means that they have a difference of 1. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, so on and so forth down the line is all of our possible consecutive pairs. And then the last point again is not all dots are necessarily given. So that means that we can have a consecutive pair or we can have a 1 to 2 ratio without there being a dot, right? That is allowed. So those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right. So probably want to start with our, again, once again, our minimums and our maximums. So 6 in 3 digits is going to be 1, 2, 3. That's just one that you should know right off the bat. 4 is 1, 3. If this is 1, this is 2. If this is 3, then this is 6. And that's again our 1 to 2 ratio. Excuse me. 10 is interesting because 10 is actually a maximum. Or, sorry, I did that the opposite way. Is a minimum. Or maybe it's a maximum slash minimum. However you want to think about it. It is a floor, I guess, which is a minimum. But if you try to think about what digits you can place in a 4-cell cage, if you try to place the minimum digits, which are 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that in fact gives you 10 exactly. So this must be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, how are we supposed to do that? We have a black dot and 2 white dots. So we need 3 digits that are consecutive to each other. So that's either going to be 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. And then one of those digits is going to be on a black dot. So if we do it like this, 2, 3, 4, then what would happen is 2, 3, 4, this would be 1. So this could be 2, 3, 4, with this being 1. If we try to go 2, 3, 4 in this direction, then 1 couldn't go here because that would be a 1 to 4 ratio, not a 1 to 2 ratio. If we go 1, 2, 3, then we could go... Actually, we can't. I was going to say we can go 1, 2, 3, but we can't do that. And we definitely can't go in the other direction, 1, 2, 3, because 3 on the black dot would need 6. So this actually is the only way we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 29. Well, 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 30. So this must be 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, 29. So this isn't a maximum, but anything that is a minimum or a maximum, plus or minus 1 respectively. Like for example, from 6 to 7, right, there's also only one option. So 6 only has one option, 1, 2, 3. 7 also only has one option, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4. 10 has only one option, and 11 also only has one option, 1, 2, 3, 5. In the same way, 6, 7, 8, 9 is our maximum 30, so 29, one less than that, is going to have one option, 5, 7, 8, 9. So that means that this is 6, this needs to be, well, 4, this needs to be 8, right? Then we need a digit that is next to 6. And that is either going to be what? It's either going to be 5 or 7, and we're left with here 5, 7, 9. Not 8, 9. 5, 7, 9 with 1, 3 down the column leaves us with what? 2, 6, 4, and 8. 2, 6, 4, 8. 8 definitely has to go here. And given that we're also missing 4, I'm assuming we're going to have the 4, 8 here. I don't know that for a fact, but we do know that 4, 8 appears somewhere down here. 4 plus 8 equals 12. How do we make 18 from 12 and one other digit? Well, that means that that one other digit must in fact be 6. So can 6 sit on the black dot? No, because you need 3. So this must be 6. This must be 4, 8, as I guessed. 4, 8, 6 gives us 2. 2 makes this 1. This 3. 3 by Sudoku goes here. And this becomes a 1, 2 pair. 6 gives us 3 here. 21. Well, we can't use 6. But we couldn't, 6 wasn't even anything to begin with. So the maximum of 3-digit cage is 7, 8, 9, which is 24. So 23 would give us some information because that would have to be 6, 8, 9. But our current set of 21 isn't as informative as I hoped. 9, however, is, because if I'm thinking about 9, we can't use 1, 2, or 3, which means the minimum that we can use is 4. The second you try to use 4, it needs to be 4, 5, so we're done. It has to be 4, 5. This is 4, this is 5. 5 consecutive can't be 4, it must be 6. 6 consecutive must be 7. 8, 9 leaves us with 8 here, 9 here. 4, 8, we are missing 2, 5. 2, 5. Can this be 2? Well, again, we start thinking about maximums. If this is 2, from 21, we're left with 19. Can you make 19 in 2 digits? The answer is no. 8 plus 9 is your maximum, and that is 17. So this could never be 2. It must be 5. This must be 2. 5 from 21 now is 16. 16 is 7, 9. So this is our 7, 9, and we're left with 1 here. Now where do we want to look? We've done, well, we haven't done, but we've put a lot of work into this middle column here. I think I need to expand out a little bit. The black dot here sees 1, 3, and 6, so it must be either 2, 4 or 4, 8. No matter what, there's a 4. I will mark that. I don't know if it's strictly necessary, but I'll mark it to help me. 8 is either going to be 1, 7. Okay, and here we go. It's either going to be 1, 7. It can't be 2, 6 because of the 2, or 3, 5. So 7 can never go on a black dot. 5, 7, and 9 are three digits that can never go in a black dot. And the reason is because if you try to divide them by 2 or multiply them by 2, you do not get a normal Sudoku digit from 1 to 9. So this would have to be 1 if it was 1, 7. If this was 1, this would be 2. But we run into the same problem that we did here with the 21. If this is 2, we need to make 20 in 2 digits. How do you make 20 in 2 digits? You can't. You just can't. So this can't be 1, or this can't be 2, which means this is not going to be 1, which means instead of that, it must be 3, 5. 5 can't go on a black dot, so this is 3, this is 5. 3 gives us 6. 6 now gives us here either 5 or 7, and this is where we can think about things. 6 plus 5 is 11. We need to make up 11 in one digit. Not possible. 6, 7 gives us 13. 13 from 22 leaves us with 9. 6, 3 staring at the black dot here. This must be 4, 8 because it has 1, 2. This is 4, 8. Can this be 8? If this was 8, then you need to make 4 in 3 digits. Well, we know the minimum, 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, so that's not going to cut it. So this must be 4. It can't be doubled to 8, so it must be halved. 4 consecutive can't be 3, so it must be 5. 6 from 12 is 6. We need to make 6 in 2 digits. Only way I can see to do that isn't 2, 4 is 1, 5. We get 1 here, 5 here. We can pull 5 out of here. And actually, I am noticing 7, 9 does this even better. We can get just 5 here. 5 here, 7 here, 9 here. We need to place 3 and 8. 3 goes here and 8 goes here. And now we're kind of doing like the plus in the middle. What are you missing? Oh, 3. Oh my goodness, how did I miss that? 1, that should have been like the first thing that I looked at. 3 is, I guess the 3 was kind of, it sounds a little bit silly, but the 3 was kind of hiding behind the black dot here. This is going to be a 1-2 pair. So before I even think about anything else, this is 3 by Sudoku. But the 1-2 pair is interesting because if this is 1, then 1 doubled is 2. So you'd have 1, 2 with 2. So this must be 2, this must be 1. That makes this 4. 4, we are still missing what? 5 and 9. Can this be 5? It can. 5, 9. Oh, but 9, 8? No, let me think about this. 5, 9. 9, 8 is 17. It doesn't work. Okay, here we go. 9, 8 is 17. Plus 4 is 21. You need 1 to satisfy this, but we already have 1 in the box and in the row, which means this can't be 9. It must be 5, which makes this 9. It can't be 5, 4, so it must be 5, 6. We now have 15, which means we need 7. In the box, we're missing 8. 8 needs to be consecutive to either 7 or 9. 7 gives us 9. 7 tells us that this is 6 or 8. Can't be 6, it must be 8. And actually, no matter what, that would have made this a 6-8 pair, because to add up to 14, you need 6 and 8 together. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, I don't know what's going on here, but we have the double 5s here. So 5 goes here, 7 goes here, and 4 goes here. 4, 5, 3, 8, 9. We're missing 4, 6, 7. 4, 6 gives us 7. With a 4, 6 pair here, unresolvable at this moment. Oh, actually, it is resolvable. Sorry, I forgot. I did pencil mark this, and I just ignored it. This is 4, which will resolve the 4, 6. But also, 4 will tell us this needs to be either 2 or 8. It can't be 2, it must be 8. We're missing 1, 9. This must be 9, this must be 1. And let's double check. 4, 7 is 11, plus 9 is in fact 20. We're missing 2 and 8. 8, there we go, gives us 2, 8. We're missing 1 and 3. From the column here, we're missing 2 and 9. 2 gives us 2, 9. 9 gives us 7, 9. 4, 8, we still haven't figured that out. We're not going to figure it out here because the 4, 8 is at the bottom. We do need 6 and 7. 6 gives us 6 here, 7 here. And we're almost done. Let's resolve our 1-2 pair. 11 is going to be 8, 3. with 9 kind of sticking around by itself. 3 gives us 8 here, 3 here. 8 gives us the order we were looking for, 4, 8. 3, this can't be 8. 1, 2, 4 actually is what we're missing from here, but 1 can only go here, which means this is a 2, 4. We know the order. This is 4, this is 2. And then to finish this off, we still need to place 5, which will go here. Yep. 7 here, and 6 here. And we're done. 11 minutes and 47 seconds with Cruella de Vil by GoldenGate and Hallalujah. A Ratio for You by Kwame and Falconi. Normal 9x9 Sudoku. Every row, column, and box must contain a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. Kropki dots. Digits separated by a black dot are in a 1 to 2 ratio. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. All right. Every row, column, and 3x3 column and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. In our Kropki dots, we have the black dots, which give us a 1 to 2 ratio. So that means one digit is twice the value of the other. So 2 to 1, 2 is twice 1. 4 to 2, 4 is twice 2. 8 to 4, 6 to 3. Then we have the white dots are consecutive. So that means they have a difference of 1. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, so on and so forth, all the way up the line are all of our consecutive pairs. And then not all dots are necessarily given. So once again, we have that rule in place, which tells us that even though this here, let's actually do the 4. Even though this is a 4, right? And there is no white dot here, it doesn't mean that this couldn't be a 3, right? This tells us that this has to be a 3 or 5, right? By white dottage, but the lack of a white dot doesn't tell us that it can't be 3 or 5 here. So those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right. I guess I did kind of already start there, and I did realize something. This has to be 3. It can't be 5 because 5, 7, and 9 can never appear on a black dot. For the reasons I have previously mentioned, 5, 7, 9, when divided or multiplied by 2, will not give you a normal Sudoku digit. So this is 3, this is 6. Now we have these 2 sets of black dots, which need to be made up. It can't be 3, 6, it must be 1, 2, 4, 8, which means one of these is definitely a 1, 2 pair, and one of these is definitely a 4, 8 pair. Whichever one is a 1, 2 pair will be a 1, 2, 4. Whichever one is a 4, 8 pair will be 8, 4, 2. I guess we can pencil mark that. Or it could be 2, 1. No, it couldn't be. Oh yeah, it could be 2, 1, 2. That is allowed. Maybe I should think about that a little bit. Because now I'm not so sure. Maybe that is where we need to look, but I am seeing this really long line of digits with a set of black dot isolated from this. When I see a triple or a double or a triple black dottage, right, which separate 3 or 4 cells, I know that this has to be from the set 1, 2, 4, 8. So if this is from the set 1, 2, 4, 8, that means this definitely has to be from the set 3, 6. Can this be from the set, can this be 3? If this is 3, it would be 3, it couldn't be 4, 5, so it would have to be 3, 2, 1. 1, when multiplied, here's another thing. 1 is interesting because 1 on a white or black dot will always give you the same digit. It'll always be 2 next to it. So having 1 forced to go here will break by Sudoku. So this can't be 3. It must be 6, 3. Let's delete this because this is not in fact 1. Can it be 6, 7? It can't. So it must be 6, 5, 4. 4 then tells us it must be 4, 2, 1. We're missing 7, 8, 9. I will pencil mark that. 3. All right. This is either 2 or 4. If it's 2, it can't be 1, so it would have to be 4. Or actually, can this be 4? It can't, because 4, 2... Oh, it can. 4, 2, 1. Oh, no, it can't. Sorry. Yes, I was correct. This can't be 4, because it would be 4, 2, 1, right? 1. That wouldn't work. So it does have to be 2. It has to be 2, 4, 8, specifically. Again... Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry. I've done it again. These do not all see each other. So this can be 2, 4, 8, or it could be 2, 4, 2. That's actually possible. If this is 4, it doesn't have to be 4, 2, 1. It can be 4, 2, 4. Not 3. 4, 2, 4. I almost forgot about that. And can it be 4, 8, 4? Why not? This can be 4, 8, 4 as well. So actually, this has a lot more options than I thought it did. Not ideal. Which actually means this can be 3 with double 6 or 6 with double 3. Also not ideal. All right, let's look back again at the black dots, because actually this should do it for us, right? It will eliminate 2 and 4. And the reason is because on a triple black dot where all of them do have to be different, as opposed to this where they don't all have to be different, you only have one set of options. It's either 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. And if you think about that, 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8, you will notice that no matter what, you will use the digits 2 and 4, which means this could never be 2 or 4. It must be 8, which means this is a set of double 4. 8, 4, 1. Could this ever be 2, 1? No, so this actually is the 3, 6, 3 that we were looking at before. If this was 3, it couldn't be 4. It would have to be 2. If it was 6, this could be either 5 or 7. 8. 8 is going to be next to either 7 or 9. But this is now, it can't be the 8 version. It must be the 1, 2, 4 version. 2 will always go here, and this will be a 1, 4 pair. 3 here. Okay, this is going to be 1, 2, 2, 4, or 4, 8. Oh, well then, that should be easy, right? This can't be 3, 6, so it needs to be either 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8. Can this be, this is kind of a weird thing, can this be 2, 4? If this is 2, 4, actually it can. 2, 4, 1 is fine, isn't it? 2, 4, 1, this would be 1, 2. Never mind. Never mind. 7, 9, 7, 8, 9, this can't be 3, 6. We already knew that. 4, 8 is very limiting. This cannot be 3, 6 or 4, 8. It must be 1, 2. If this is 1 or 2, this is, oh, but can this be, okay, this is the same thing we were looking at here. Can this be 1 on a white and black dot? No, because then you'd have double 2. So this is 2, this is 1. 2 can't, it doesn't actually see 4 here, or it doesn't actually allow for 4 here, because it sees 4 here. There we go. So this is 1. 2 must then can't go down. It must go up to 3. 3, 2. Now this is interesting. You can't use 3, 6, and you can't use 2. The second you can't use 2, it blocks off 1. It means that this must be a 4, 8. Which is forming an X-wing of sorts with the 4 here. If we didn't already know that 4 went here for some reason, the 4 here, we would know that if 4 went here, 4 would go here, or the opposite, which would mean 4 is always accounted for in these two sets. 1, 2, 3, 6 leaves us with 4, 8 here. 4, I guess no matter what, if this is 4, this would be 8, and if it's 8, this would be 4. So this, once again, excuse me, is in fact 4, 8. 5, 7, 9 end up along here. Can this ever be, yeah, it can, because 4, sorry, of course, 4 sees 5, and 8 would see 7 or 9. Here is an option. 3, 6. 1, 5, 7. Oh, how did I miss that? 1 and 7 are both seen by this aren't, or I guess they are both seen by this, but also they both see this box. So this becomes 5 here, which removes 5 as an option from both of these. 1, 7, 4, 8. 4, 8 doesn't do it for us. Actually, we're kind of split up here. Hmm. 3, 6, and 4. So 4 blocks off 8. This becomes a 1, 2 pair, and because of the 1 here, we know the order 2, 1. 1 gives us 4, 1. 4 does the X-wing, 4, 8. 8 gets knocked out of here, but that's about it for that. We have a couple of consecutive pairs to consider, but I don't think we have enough information. This could still be 2, 3, 3, 4, 6, 7, 7, 8. It has a good few options. So here we're missing 8 and 9. Not immediately helpful. 1, 2, 3, 7. Oh, 1. Here we go. 1 by Sudoku goes here. Actually, do we have enough ones to finish off? We do. 1 goes here, 1 goes here, 7 goes here. And that is 9 ones, in fact. What are you missing still? 2, 3, 7. That's what it was. Completely blanking here. 2, 3, 7. Six, 7, 9, 8. 1, 2. Just gonna see if we can do basic Sudoku. 3. 4. Oh, 4. Sorry, this is the only place 4 can go, which means this is in fact double 8. 4 means this has to be 5. 5 kills 5 in a couple places. Oh, 7, 9. Sorry, 9. 9, 7. 7, 9. 9 gets pulled out of these for 7, 8 pair. 2, 7, 2. 2 can only go here. 7 can only go here. This must be 9. Oh, wait. Doesn't make sense. I did that backwards. This must be 9. This must be 7. Sorry, because of the 7 here. Wait. I have broken something. Gosh darn it. All right, let's go back. 2 here. So this must be 2. This must be 3. 6, 6. We have 7, 9 here, which... Oh, because I don't know what I'm missing. What? Oh, I have double 2. 3. This can't be 2. Sorry. How did I do that? I'm completely I'm completely lost here, folks. Sorry about that. This is 7. This is 6. I'm again just being very silly. 3, 7, 7, 9. 9, and we're not missing 2. We're still missing 5. There we go. 5 here. Missing 3, 6, 7. 7 goes here. 3 gives us 6 here. 3 here. We're missing, oh, that's a 3 in the corner. 2, 6. We don't know the order, but I will pencil mark that because we can now look across here. 5, 7, 8. Don't know the order. Actually, we do know 8 can't go here. Almost a chocolate teapot. Not quite. 8, though, does give us 9, 8. And we don't even care about a chocolate teapot because 8 just gets thrown right in the middle there. 3. 3 here doesn't actually help. Oh, 5, 7 though. 5, 7 though tells us that we're missing 6. And in the box, we need to place 5 and 9. Don't know the order for that. 5, 9. We're missing 5, 6. 6 I can see. 5 I can see now. 8 and 9, I can see that. 9, 8. 5, 3. 3 can only go here. Completely missing that by Sudoku. 2, 7. 2, 7, and what? 9. All right, don't know the order. 2, 7, 9. But we're missing 2, 7, 9, and 5. So this can't be 9, so this is 2, 5, 7. 5, 9 is going to have to do it for us. Oh, 7, of course. 7 can't go here, so let's be diligent, pull that out. 2, 5, 9. Oh, this is now a 2, 5, 9 chocolate teapot. And as a 2, 5, 9 chocolate teapot, it is in fact a triple, which means we're missing 3 and 8. 3, 8. Let's think about this. If this is 3, this must be 2. If it's 8, it can't. Oh, it can't be 8 because 8 needs 7 or 9 next to it. So this is 3, 2. This is in fact 8. 2 gets pulled out of here. Now we have a chocolate teapot across this way. 5, 7, 9 chocolate teapot down this way. Lots of chocolate teapots. 8, 4. We're missing what? 6 still? This is 6. I guess I should have looked at the box. 1, 2, 3. We're missing 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're missing a few options. 4, 5, 6. 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Oh, 8. Sorry. 8, 7. 4, 5, 6, 9. 6, 9. We know the order. 6, 9. 4, 5 gives us 5, 4. 5, and 5 is going to do the work for us. This is 7. This is 5. 7 gives us 2, 2, 6. 2, 7. 7, 5, 2, 2, 9, 5, 5, 9, and 7. Then jumping all the way down here, we are almost done with the box here. We need to place what? 4 and 8 across. We know the order. This is 8, this is 4, and is our last set consecutive? It is. We're missing 2 and 3, and the 2, 3 give us the order. 3 here, 2 here, and we're done in 15 minutes and 26 seconds. All right. That was a little bit iffy on my end. Not with the puzzle at all. Kwame and Falconi. This was a quite quite well laid out puzzle. The logic flowed very nicely. I am just clearly tired. I will in fact be using that excuse. 2.5 hours. It is getting pretty late for me here. I still need to take the dog out. So let's call it for this evening. I will jump back one last time to the book. The book will leave us off at Anemone by Bronze. So that's where we will be picking up next time. So hopefully you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.